Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Gold Squadron podcast stream here at the Denver System Open. This is Top 4. For Back to Dials, actually, my name is Asa Graff, and I'm joined right now by Ken Cho of District Foundry. Dion had to step out for a few minutes, but he will be back. Thank you, Ken.
Hello, hello.
And welcome. On the left side of your screen, you have Mitchell Hurst with a first order list quick draw and 2 first order test pilots, with John Hennon, his opponent, on the right side of your screen. Tennom, Braylon Strom, Wedge Antilles, and Cassian Andor, that classical Rebel beef that we've seen twice on stream already.
We have, yeah, and I'll say, I don't know if you know this, Asa, because we haven't seen each other in a while, but John H. is actually now a local. So he's originally from the Virginia Beach area.
That is fantastic.
He moved here a month ago. We had kind of joked when we practiced last Wednesday that, you know, we didn't know if there'd be many Colorado guys out here, and if we both made the cut, that it would be up to 2 transplants to defend the Colorado's honor. So here we are. So
there we are. We have so let's talk about this, because we did actually see a very similar match to this yesterday. John Hennon's first appearance on stream was against another first order list with quick draw and 2 silencers, but that was a little bit different. We had recoil and a first order test pilot. So let's look at some of the differences. Quick draw is very similar to where we saw him last time, except instead of swarm tactics, he also has fanatical on the table. Both of those first order test pilots with fanatical and advanced optics, and you see them storing that focus token for later after this first round.
Yep, and I would say that John will have his hands full. The trick here is for Mitchell not to get any one of his 3 ships caught in the Rebel Beef net, so to speak. And that might be hard because John obviously is at the top 4 table, has a lot of practice with it. I've practiced against him. He's very good with it. And he knows not to overcommit when he can avoid it.
Just working on getting the stream poll up here.
Got the stream poll for the Twitch guys. Congrats to you guys for making Dion hit the Patreon goal, which is always awesome. And Ace is about to put the poll up, see who you guys think is going to win. There it is,
right down there in the bottom right comment. 1 for John, 2 for Mitchell there. Whoever you think is going to win this stream. That first order list is fairly impressive right here, although we do see some of Mitchell's advantage being negated by the fact that John Hennon did have the bid. So those first order test pilots are no longer mini Kylos.
Right. And Wedge will, now it's on Wedge's shoulders to put in work, which he does. You know, losing that 1 extra agility is pretty clutch.
Especially on somebody like Quick Draw, where all those shields are going to be stripped basically round 1 if Wedge gets in a good shot.
You got it.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, X-Wing fans of all ages, welcome back to the stream. You know him, you love him, you give him your money. Dion Morales.
I didn't miss too much, did I? I didn't miss anything.
Not too much at all. Welcome back. Glad to have you.
Sorry about that, everybody. I think this is the first game in my streaming where I've actually had to be like, I can't do this. I'd be right back. Not too bad. Not too bad.
So, Dion, Ken and I, before you came back, we were just talking about some of the differences in Mitchell's first order list versus the first order list that we saw John come out victorious over last night.
Yes. What were you saying?
Well, mostly these first order test pilots are no longer mini Kylos, right? He had the other guy last night had a much larger bid, was able to get over John's. So, do you think that advantage or those differences are going to give John a measurable advantage this round?
Well, so just looking at better, so advanced optics allows you to change a blank result to a hit, right? That's how that one works?
Yeah, you spend a focus.
Spend the focus. So, I mean, what Mitchell seems to be leaning in here is for offensive consistency.
Right.
Right? So, we'll see how he does. And it looks like he is starting to go towards the bottom of the board. Color pink.
Indeed, number pink.
Oh,
Excuse you.
Excuse me.
Number pink curving around down there towards the bottom of the board, taking the barrel roll. Is he going to slot that in there? He actually fails that barrel roll. Cannot get past number green.
Okay. So that might be again, I didn't see their exact setup. Maybe that was a setup mistake where usually he has room for that, but not that time. We'll see how that affects him.
Indeed, here's a 2-bank. Not very highly affected. He just gets a little bit more distance down towards the bottom of the board. It's not like he's blocking his own or anything.
Mm-hmm.
Now, we've seen the power of those B-Wings twice on stream already. Of course, Wedge Antilles is a really powerful piece as well. Cassian Andor being able to power all of them up. Not a lot of upgrades over there on John's list, but every single one of them is doing a really good job. Thank you very much. We get Braylon his classical yellow color.
Classical yellow, yes.
As he banks right down in from the top, barrel rolling up towards the top of the board.
I don't know. I think it's a little bit more of a Baroque yellow.
A little bit more of a Baroque yellow. Okay. It does have a little bit more color in there, a little bit more of an improvised scheme.
Yeah, see? Some more ornamentations. That's us being music nerds, guys.
Yeah.
All right.
Now, keep in mind, even though the S or the pivot wings look closed physically on the model, that token is indicating that they are open, and the card is indicating that they are open as well. Remember, especially as B wings then move to get their own S foils, maybe when this card releases with Wave 5, that we have the card indicates the positioning.
Yeah. Another thing I want to talk about here is that John set up in a very different setup the last 2 times we got to see him play. So, you know, he's in that corner. I'm curious to know. I haven't played against this type of list, this quick draw double silencer list. So I wish I could pick his brain and understand why he set up in this type of formation where essentially these players have taken the board and flipped it, right? So it's still a square. Right. It's just, you know, it's this way now.
That's not a square. So, and especially something like this where he's putting all of these asteroids directly between him and the silencers. With that initiative advantage to set up, one might think that he wanted to deploy down here in this corner. It's an open center of the board right there. And even though, of course, those silencers are going to turn around and jet towards the other side, he would have had a lot more freedom of approach. But, of course, with the precision of this setup that we saw, it's obvious that John has practiced that. And with a practiced opening, no matter what you've got a plan.
Yep. And I do like the wide set. That is something that he has done in each of his openings, where he keeps his formation wide to make sure he has lots of options and he can swing any of the B-wings or the X-wing over to whichever side. Obviously, the U-wing is slow enough to just rotate and do whatever it's got to do, but yeah, that's been similar. I guess my question is in that corner. He hasn't set up in that corner that way yet.
Absolutely. This is also John coming in from the right side of the board from our perspective rather than the left. So if I get mixed up, it's because that's where I expect him to be, on the left.
Yeah, he was on the left the other 2 times.
On the other table, Andrew Knuckles is carrying on against another quad phantom list. So we're bringing you the more diverse of those 2 matches.
Yep. Another thing, just kind of going through my headspace thinking about the setup, is maybe John wants Mitchell to come through these rocks, because if these silencers are using their boost barrel rolls to kind of get positioning, they don't have mods.
That's true.
So if you can, you know, they're at initiative 4, and looks like Mitchell is the first player, which means that John's going to be able to react to him.
The other thing that we've seen is using these larger ships, Cassian and shuttles, for example, as backstops to close off asteroid lanes for some of these more maneuverable ships. We saw it in Carson's game last night where he backstopped Poe very effectively, killing him quickly. So something like Cassian setting up shop right in this window with B-Wings coming down through some of these gaps could somewhat negate the movement options for those TIE silencers and quick draw, affording them with less of an escape route if John deems it necessary.
Here's a 2-bank towards the bottom of the board. We'll see if he boosts or barrel rolls. That'll really give us an indication of how cagey he's playing.
Absolutely.
Mitchell thinking about his options here.
I don't think he can be too aggressive right now.
Yep.
He's got to let those rebels come into the rocks just a little bit while he stays around the edges.
Yep. So just the barrel roll towards the bottom of the board. So trying to split up the list here. So looks like Mitchell's trying to set up a flank. He'll take either one, right? Either I'm going to flank with green or pink, which in the last match when what was the last match we had John on, the gentleman that had the 3 phantoms and Vader kind of had that same idea. Try to make John choose, and John punished him for it.
Yeah, so let's see if John calls that green flank maneuver, because these B-Wings right here are in a great position to sort of swoop down from this top side of the board, put some real pressure onto the first order. If John's able to call Mitchell just as well as he was able to call his Imperial opponent earlier in the day, then I think we might be in for a bloody match.
He's boosting towards the bottom of the board. Again, playing very cagey. Both quick draw and that silencer over there have not left like range 2 from the edge.
B-Wings here, one straight, pretty non-committal. Now that boost towards the top left of the board there, an interesting maneuver because it has kind of committed him up here into this corner. And even though John might not be able to capitalize on it this turn, in the next couple turns, pinning that silencer against the top side of the board could be very, very advantageous to him. Of course, silencer number green can turn left and bug out of there if quick draw gets out of the way. But with this barrel roll up towards the top, it looks like John might be hedging his bets against a move towards the top of the board.
Time to go in there. We're probably going to see Wedge turn here, B-Wings doing their thing.
Absolutely.
Starting to cut them off at the pass there.
733 people watching this round. This is the top 4 of the Denver System Open at the Sheraton. Open at the Sheraton Hotel in Denver Tech Center. Thank you to everybody who came, to everybody who tuned in. We pared down to a 10th of the field, top 16 today from 160 players last night.
Yeah, absolutely love covering this premier level play at these System Opens all around the U.S. And it's interesting to see what translates from town to town. What are the things that are the same, and then just that twist that the locals bring. And as
what have we brought? Ken Johnson pointing out that John Hennon is actually a local now. He just transplanted to Denver. There indeed, Dion called it perfectly, a 3-turn towards the center of the board.
Carlos, thank you for your donation. Keep up the good work, and see you guys in Atlanta. See you then.
Atlanta System Open being Memorial Day weekend. Dion will be there covering it. Wedge then boosting with closed S-foils towards the top side of the board. Really looking to trap that silencer in the corner. With 62 minutes in the round, we go back to dials. Now, Dion, for giveaways this round, we have reached that sub goal. Did we gave those away already?
Yep. So we're going to have our standard giveaways, and we're also going to go ahead and do our patron exclusive giveaways.
We hit that goal. We smashed that goal.
And then for the final, we got our sponsor items, so we're going to be doing that. And I do want to remind you guys that this round is brought to you by Curled Paw Creatives. Use that coupon code Denver19 for 20% off of a $15 or more order. Get your tokens, get your templates, whatever you need. CurledPawCreatives.com. That's a free jingle for you, Andrew. Next one, I'll have to send you an invoice.
So as the chat is pointing out, this is still a very open turn coming here because green does have the option of one turning out to pilot left and bugging right back out.
That's very true.
And John has made some pretty decisive moves to move up towards the top of that board and try to trap him in the corner. Now, if Mitchell sees this, turns out we could have a different game, but if John calls that double bluff and continues towards the center, which is entirely open to him, he hasn't fully committed. I mean, these are the sorts of mind games. Like, do you think, which cup am I going to choose? Which cup do you think that I'm going to choose? So I'm going to choose this other one. And when in reality, John's been building up an immunity to iocane powder this entire time. We got a question in chat. How do those gas clouds work?
So gas clouds, if you overlap them, I appreciate you, man.
I gave mine too. Don't worry.
So if you are, if you overlap them, you lose your perform action step. You can still perform actions on the, like if you're for instance, coordinated, or another ability gives it to you, just you perform actions. Correct. If you're being shot through them, what ends up happening is you can change a single blank result to an evade, similar to the first edition auto thrusters ability, and it does cause obstructions. But no stress or any type of other effects, no rolling for damage.
Question for the Patreon giveaway. Do patrons have to do anything if they win the giveaway?
Nope. I have your address.
Got your info already.
I'm going to write down your name and be like, all right, send. Now, if you're watching, save me some time and that out, but
Absolutely.
yeah, you're good.
All right, number pink curving up towards the top of the board, and there's a one turn towards the corner.
Committing.
He's committing very, very hard. Did John call this?
Barrel rolling to the right.
That's cut himself off pretty dramatically right there. He cannot boost in from that.
Well, so by sitting in front of that gas cloud,
That bacon.
That's right, that bacon gas cloud.
That bacon gas.
He's actually signaling to John, you don't know where I'm going to go, right? He's maybe also trying to angle to see if he can get that obstruction.
Kind of looks like John knew exactly where he was going to go.
Yeah, but yeah, that's where he's
See,
on that other
we
side.
say these things, and John has proven himself really, really adept at reading his opponents all day. This B-wing, by the way, being coordinated up to the top with a barrel roll from Mr. Cassian Indoor, and
there's
then
Braylon coming in
down with a 4 straight.
So looking at the bases, we have a little bit of an angle here, but it looks like these ships are parallel, so that should be able to choose unobstructed.
Right.
There. So just the focus.
3 turn from quick draw. So this is the danger of splitting your ships apart when you're going for that kind of flank. You have somebody like John who's got all of his weight of fire coming in against number green there. Number pink down there at the bottom, unable to lend his firepower, although quick draw with a 3-turn afterburners boost into pilot left is providing a lot of presence.
All right, here comes Wedge. Probably some sweeping banking maneuver. That looks like a 4 straight.
Hang on, I'll be right back.
There it is. Wings are closed. You might get a focus boost here. Able to get at least 2 dice. Leia was popped this turn. You can see the charges flipped down there in that corner.
Just had to make sure I didn't hand away Adam's keys.
We're going to go ahead and close down that poll. Seems 50-50. Let's see what happens.
Slight edge to Mitchell here.
FCS, this is quick draw, just 1 crit.
They're calling that obstructed 2 greens.
Has a focus available. Elusive. Working out there. Reaching for Cassian.
Or Wedge there, I think.
Oh, sorry, Wedge. Sorry, they moved Cassian out of the way. Two on 3.
Wedge with closed S-foils, of course, boosting.
Safe.
Handily evaded.
Two eyeballs.
Back at the 10 numb.
He's not going to spend it.
He wants
that
stay
for defense,
defensive.
yeah.
They're going to call a judge over for the parallel ruling. Although, Dion, you are absolutely correct. If they are indeed parallel, then the attacker can choose an unobstructed shot.
Right. Now, if they're asking for this, most likely what will happen is Ian will determine whether or not it is actually obstructed, if they're actually parallel.
Right.
So it is getting called obstructed.
Yep. With the call being a slight cock of that base. Spending his focus for 2 hits.
That's
and he
gonna be
is
safe.
fine with that change from the gas cloud. Spending
All
his
right.
stress for 2.
And it has focus available, but not going to happen. It's going to be first shield down on the green silencer. Number
First
green.
blood then to John Hennon with just 1 damage. Not a super damaging round here.
No, that could have been way worse.
It could have been way, way worse. And that's exactly what Mitchell wanted to see right there, is a low damage round. Give him the chance now to disengage and punish John for committing so hard.
Mm-hmm.
So what do you think we might see here, Dion? We have this guy sitting right in front of that gas cloud, although he could be coordinated. Let me try to draw.
Yep.
There we go. He could be coordinated by Mr. Cassian right there if he comes forward to get a barrel roll off first.
Barrel roll hard 1 seems good. You could also... A silencer has pretty limited options, the green one, but you got quick draw coming in.
Mm-hmm. What I'm most concerned about that silencer, he's got 2 turns that are blue, but not 1. So you could probably clear a 1 turn in either direction. But
You probably
2s
just
are
do
tough.
a 5 straight, honestly.
That's true.
You do a 5 straight. You end
run
up,
right into wedge.
You are safe from being shot by everybody except for maybe Cassian.
Sure.
And then you're in an aggressive position.
That's actually very, very true. And then he can come swooping back in from the flank next round. Quick Draw is going into exactly where she wants to be, right up into the paint, lending a lot of firepower and putting a lot of board presence in there, daring John to shoot her multiple times. One of the other things that we do get pointed out for in chat, John's doing a really good job of exploiting some of the intricacies of the rules there with the failed barrel rolls to stress those B-wings out.
Yeah, I know some people are not fans of it. They say it's an unintended mechanic, and I think it's one of those where we can't have our cake and eat it too.
Right.
Because if it didn't work this way, the way the B-wings are failing their actions, that would mean that when people failed regular actions, they would failed regular
punished.
red actions, they wouldn't be punished for it. So I get it, and
it's very, very strong on these 2 B-wings, but B-wings can still die.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And if the B-wing itself is the one that can really abuse it the best right now, and Lulo from the Resistance as well. And
specifically these 2 B-wings.
Yeah, these
though.
2 B-wings.
The generic B-wings don't really want to be getting that extra stress. Interestingly, too, John Hennon's list is very close to being hyperspace legal. All he has to do is swap out Cassian for a different pilot because only the Saws Renegades U-Wings. Oh, they're all legal? They're all legal.
This is a hyperspace legal list.
Dominating in an extended tournament.
I'm telling you already, like I already plan to bring the list that John is flying for the hyperspace trial that I'm going to next weekend or the weekend after. That's my plan.
Hopefully it works out for you. 52 minutes, just under 52 minutes left in this round.
It's a really efficient squad. You got a lot of firepower, lots of mods, and the thing is that you can do stressful maneuvers, which are obviously good because they're stressful, right? They put you in some advantageous positions while getting modifications, which is really strong.
Exactly, and you can do stressful maneuvers multiple times over. Of course, Leia being the strongest piece in the Rebel arsenal.
Leia is
would not be surprised to see her adjusted back up in this next round of changes.
Yeah, I mean, they went pretty aggressive. But you know what? I'm okay with aggressive changes in points because it means that if they aggressively shift her again, we're going to see the meta morph again, right? Things will morph.
That's something that I've been thinking is that they're not necessarily tuning for absolute balance, perhaps.
Right.
Perhaps they're tuning to intentionally shift the meta in a particular direction to keep the game fresh.
Yep.
And if that's done intentionally, it's a decision that I respect. So let's take a look at this game once again. We have some long deliberations on Mitchell's side for these dials here, and I think he's got a lot of decisions to make, right?
Marcel's trolling me in the chat. Our very own Marcel Manzano. All right, this is going to be a big turn. Honestly, with quick draw coming in, most likely I'm calling pink probably 5 forward boosting, starting to pursue there. You also have the option of I guess coming in But
That puts you in front of the B-wings. I like the flanking
I like
option
the flanking
more.
option, yep.
Because it gives you the ability then to re-disengage out to the right or up to the top of the board if you need to. With that whole bottom side of the board open, Mitchell's maneuverable ships are going to be rewarded down there.
I love the
I love it when
banter.
we bring up balance. And
Yeah. Like, phantoms are fine. What are you talking about? Phantoms are fine. B-wings are overpowered. What do you mean B-wings are overpowered? I love it.
Quick draw likely one straight to victory, right?
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
All right, here comes Cassian. There's a blue maneuver. Fairly quick A2 straight. Are we going to see a coordinate? No, just a focus.
Stay offensive. You're most likely going to have that green silencer in your arc.
There's
All
a
right, so
two-turn.
he is going up there. Hard turn boost is what I'm kind of predicting here.
Is he going to be close enough to do meaningful damage?
If he can strip a token,
Sure.
helps.
There's a focus. Link that to a boost, I would assume.
Yeah,
There it
there
is.
it is.
And I do like this. He has left himself with options if he does need to disengage. That 2 hard blue is going to take him right out behind those rocks, be able to come back in around. Here's a 2 bank through the gas cloud looking to get blocks.
All right, I'm kind of surprised he went that slow, to be completely honest. But
The
I guess
danger there is a wedge, just 1 bank, ripping him a new one with a 4-die attack.
And what's the B-Wings K-turn?
It's a 2.
Yeah, that won't fit. All right, that would be blocked if that's what he did.
No actions, though. A bold maneuver, fairly dangerous.
You're a bold one. That was really bad.
He's going to go ahead and get that marked. No, he's just doing a 2-turn.
2-turn. Using the side-to-side method.
If you align that template from center to center, you can move it as if you were moving it from invisible guides located on the side of the ship.
Helps with avoiding moving ships and all that. It's pretty great. People used to do it in first edition too. I didn't like it because there was no marking.
Right.
But now that we have the sidelines, I'm cool with it.
So we do have a successful block here. 1 hard turn is coming through that gas cloud, will be blocked onto the silencer.
But also gets a stress, which essentially is an action.
Right. Do you think that 2-turn might block quick draw?
It might.
It's tough to tell. Let's get another angle. Oh, hey, look at that sleeve.
Yeah.
It's not a bad way to look at where they are marking this guy, though. Being very precise.
Yeah, actually, I really like the position of Braylon. He's going to have those re-rolls. Quick draw most likely is getting shot.
All
up.
that precision and then pulling the template out. Hey, it happens to everybody. He will be stretched from that 1 hard turn.
There it is.
There it is, 1 straight.
Yeah, let's take that. Yeah, that's a bump. I think it's a bump or a rock. It's a bump. It's a bump before it is a rock.
So John then saving quick draw from a rock.
Ooh-wee.
Oh, that is so close. Wedge Antilles. Now, where is he going? Wedge is going out there. That's an interesting maneuver. Thinking that he was going to go hard in on Wedge is the comment from John.
I mean, Wedge is a really important piece in your list. You want to make sure that he survives. You bring Wedge to do damage, right?
Right. You don't bring Wedge to get shot.
Yeah. So, in my experience, you want Wedge to get, I think, three to 4 times on target.
Right.
usually gets you in a pretty advantageous place in a game. If you lose wedge really early, that can hurt you pretty bad.
Wedge boosting around the top side of that board there. He is poised nicely to come back in next turn. We have the first shot, quick draw into Braylon.
Braylon's ability? There it is.
Eyeball, so 2 damage. Looks like we have a shot into 10 Numb. That's into Cassian. Shot 2 shields down on Cassian.
Whose target lock is this? This belongs to Quick Draw, I'm assuming?
Quick Draw did not get the opportunity to. I'm not sure.
Well, that's a 1. Quick Draw's 1.
And one more shield down on Braylon as well. So 1 shield remaining now on Braylon. 1 shield remaining on Cassian as well.
Spending the stress on 10.
2 results coming in onto Number Pink.
Takes 1.
Takes 1. Pink takes 1. Braylon's reroll for 2. Firing range 3, Number Pink. One more.
Take more.
So 1 shield left.
Hit it, crit, coming in.
What a rough shot.
That's into green. Hit, crit.
Crit is a hull breach. That's a blank crit there, but he's still only down to
2 hull.
2 hull.
So that puts John in the lead 32-0. We're going to go ahead and get that target lock cleaned up.
They're realizing it now.
They figured it out. Yep.
It was on 10 Numb. Quick draws locked from a couple of rounds ago on 10 Numb.
Pink is now, but Pink and Green are both fanatical. Now they have their shields gone. And the crit was hold breach. Let's go ahead and get that on there into green. So looking at the damage exchange, I mean, I think it's pretty obvious that John was very much favored in the exchange.
Absolutely. Even Whist Wedge swinging out wide.
Yeah, I mean, only getting a couple damage here into the B-Wing shields with the silencers basically poised to disengage and not really have good shots on target next turn. We'll see what Mitchell does here.
I agree with you. I think we could definitely be seeing a K-turn here from 10 Numb, just right beside that debris cloud. Wedge obviously coming back in here. Is Cassian's ability range 0 to 3 or 0 to 2 to remove that stress?
0 to 3.
Okay, so he could pull that stress off of Wedge.
Yeah.
Wedge could do a hard turn.
Yep. It is 1 to 3, not 0 to 3. It's important that it's not 0.
Right. Now, we did talk last time this sort of matchup came out about the targeting priorities against the First Order right here. Do you think that John is right to go for those test pilots first and not lay into quick draw while he still has a lot of firepower on the board to strip shields fast?
So I'm usually a fan of trying to kill quick draw first. You try to take care of all those shields in one turn, and then she's just an SF, and then you can ignore her if you want to.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, you want to try to get quick draw off early, because if she has shields in the end game, that's when she can flip a game for you.
Absolutely.
I have seen enough matches where quick draw is left to the end game, and there's just one exchange where, quick draw does 8 damage to a ship.
Yeah.
Right? Because, 2 range 1 shots, and just like, hey, you chose this.
With that said, though, he's been able to put enough damage onto those test pilots that little bit of a race, the little advantage he might have could snowball later on to put those guys within striking distance, force them at least out of the fight for now. force them to disengage a little bit and not have their considerable weight of fire coming back into his own ships. 40 minutes left of the round with John pulling out a small lead here at the Denver System Open. This round, of course, sponsored by Curled Paw Creatives.
That's right. Use that coupon code Denver19 for 20% off of a $15 or more order.
And I wonder how Andrew Knuckles is doing in his match. He is flying the Fort Buster against 4 more Phantoms.
I bet we could get an update from somebody who's standing by on the Andrew Knuckles game. Thank you to Andrew Seeley.
Thank you, Andrew Seeley.
He's producing.
He is. He's doing his.
He's not the Gold Squadron producer, though. Got some free Minox services there.
A 1 bank from Cassian.
Holding it down and should be fine.
Looking for a focus there. Looking for a good shot on the quick draw. Now, do you think a sloop might get past that if quick draw has called that maneuver?
Let's take a look up top.
Yes, I think so. I would love to see that from Mitchell. That would be a fantastic maneuver. Now, this is an interesting maneuver here. Number Pink there, 2 banking right into the middle of things. He is definitely going to hit quick draw. I think that's a bid maybe to try to block 10.
Here's an update from Andrew Seeley. Got some picks. So taking a look here, Alex Farley, Andrew Knuckles' opponent, who's flying 4 Phantoms, has...
this is Knuckles' list, yeah.
This is Knuckles, okay. So Knuckles has shields down on most of his lists.
2 Phantoms off the board already.
2 Phantoms off the board.
Looks like he's doing very, very well. Looks like Andrew is possibly going to... Yeah, 2 Phantoms off the board already. Looks like Andrew is possibly going to the finals here. Big acrylic for the big win.
Yeah, this would be the 2nd System Open win for the Birmingham Barons in the history of the System Open Series.
Marking Cassian.
K-turn, keeping that gun in the fight, saying, you know what, I'm hurt, but I will go down swinging.
There's the 2K from Ted Num. I don't believe he is going to be blocked by that attempt from Number Pink right there.
He's got it.
He's got it beautifully executed. Just 1 single stress. Braylon Strom is also doing a 2K.
2 straight.
No,
that's
friend,
a K.
That is a K turn.
He's trying to go at quick draw.
Yep.
That's a. I think he's just he's trying to hedge his bets and see where quick draw is going to go. No, she's going forward.
Absolutely. Interesting that he did pull the stress off of Braylon right there, not enabling Wedge to do the hard turn as we predicted last round. So there is a banking maneuver from quick draw.
Is that a sloop?
Somebody's dial is red. That is a sloop.
That's
going the opposite direction from what we predicted, so he's still in a lot of danger right there. But that's also a really nice way to avoid the attempted block that John threw right there.
Wedge is still stressed, so he won't be able to reposition in order to try to catch quick draw.
Right. We might see a strong move against Pink.
Yep.
But quick draw is safe from Wedge. Well, from Wedge this round. Pattern Analyzer putting the target lock in against Cassian. That's the nice, juicy target right there.
Oh, yeah. 1 shield, only 1 shield left. Has the possibility of cleaning it up with some good rolls.
I'm still confused as to what was being accomplished right there with that 2 bank that bumped into the back of quick draw.
I think the idea was just to go slow enough and have arc on Cassian, because that's what it seems, right?
Sure.
You got 1, 2, 3 coming in. He might be just be gunning for Leia. The idea is to take the Leia carrier out ASAP.
There's Wedge banking in. He is going to focus to boost again.
I'm going to go take a peek at Elusive and see if it's a May or just like when you do this, this happens. Just because
Yeah,
matters.
you're right. That charge did not get
After you full, yeah, it's a
it's a must.
All right, I'll be right back.
Go correct that. Policeman Dion. And we'll be right back. The usage of focus boost from John's wedge here is a little bit interesting. Not taking a lot of shots. I know he did want to get around to take a shot at pink, but does limit his options going forward in this game. Two hits, one evade.
All right, sorry, I'm back. Elusive's been recharged.
Fantastic.
Takes a shield on Cassian. Here we go, 2-on-2. This is wedge. Spends a focus for one.
And
Hey.
this one. One into pink. Damage is a damage is a damage, right?
That's right. That's first one into the hole there. Note that Fanatical is live on both silencers.
And speaking of Fanatical, we have number green coming right in against Cassian. No Fanatical, 3 hits on 4 dice.
Spends the
Spending
focus there. Takes one.
One more, one into the hull. Range 1 obstructed from number pink into Cassian Andor. Judge asking them to re-roll that because the hand was in the dice box. Fanatical will change that to a hit, though. And with no results there, Cassian will take 3 more hits.
Down to 1. Points on the board for Mitchell.
So this is a case here where if John just has good shots on quick draw, I'm not sure he necessarily wants to take that. I think he wants Cassian alive for at least one more round. If I were John, I would really want Cassian to be removing this stress from wedge right there.
Yeah, I was kind of surprised it didn't come off earlier.
Yeah, he pulled it off of Braylon so that he could K-turn, which
Right.
I do agree with. But then wedge did the boost focus in again, not really leaving his options very open. Oof.
That's just one. And safe. We do have a judge at the table. It's Ian Ham, the marshal of the event.
And we go back to dials, just over 30 minutes left in this game. John still has a slight lead, 64 points to 25. But positionally speaking, and considering how close Cassian is to death, this game is a lot closer than it might seem.
We got 803 beautiful people watching out there. I hope y'all are doing well.
Leia is active this round. Every single ship on the board except for the one silencer and Cassian are stressed. Cassian's got a great opportunity right here for a 0 stop. If we pop Leia right there, just stay facing exactly where he is. This is a heck of a scrum.
Did Cassian forget to fire?
It kind of looks like he did. You can't. I mean, you can't be leaving dice on the table there.
The marshal is there. I'm not touching it.
Yeah. If it's
it.
missed, you must
Yeah.
engage, but you don't have.
You don't have to fire, right? And
Right.
It's one of those where it's a gray area. It's not clean. People will argue either way, very heatedly. The marshal's there. There it is. That's a missed opportunity. It's kind of how I'm looking at it. These players have done absolutely fantastic this weekend. They're all making the top 4 here out of 168
160 players.
I think with the waiting list, we were able to get to 168.
Really?
Yeah.
Every single one of these players have earned themselves an invite to Worlds. They've paid the iron price.
Oh, yeah.
Just like yourself, Dion.
That's right. That's right. The iron price.
I do think John is still in good shape here. This game is not over by any means, but we are more than halfway through it and yet to see any meaningful large swing in either player's favor here. So John really, he still currently has the advantage, but he needs to make a move to press that advantage and keep himself in the lead.
All right, looking at some of the options here, we got half hour left in the round. We're going to be hurtling quickly here towards a conclusion, especially after this next turn. I think it's really going to make a difference.
So, Dion, where are you expecting some of these ships to go? There's a couple real key choices here. Wedge stands out to me, as does Quick Draw.
So we should have range 3 to Wedge, though Wedge has an opportunity just to 2-turn in and be in the fight. No mods, though. But those silencers had to move first.
Question from chat, can Quick Draw clear the 4 straight? If we go to the top camera, we can see that I do not believe that he can. Thank you to everybody in the chat who is watching now. 823 people tuning in today. This is the top 4. Mitchell Hurst versus John Hennon. Andrew Knuckles versus, what was his name again? Andrew Knuckles versus somebody else on the top 4 table. Looks like he's doing very well. We are hurtling towards a conclusion and your final match right here. Now, John, at the beginning of the activation phase, has popped Leia and pulled Wedge's stress off. A 0 stop from Cassian has put him right in the center of the board there with a focus. 2 straight in bump from number green. Had to have seen that 0 stop coming. Sweeping maneuver here coming from number pink. We have what looks like a 3 bank to pilot left. Mark the base to lay that flat. 3 bank maneuver. Will that clear? Alex Farley is Andrew Knuckles' opponent. Thank you, Jason Miller. Will that clear? It does not look like it. If we look right above, it looks like we do, in fact, have a block. Number pink just barely bumping into into Braylon Strom. That is really not where he wants to be, especially if we do see an aggressive 2-turn in from Wedge right here. He's going to be right in front of that X-Wing, leaving the template in. So much bump. This is one of the tightest scrums that we have seen all day. Yes, indeed, we have a comment in the chat. B-Wings are fantastic for Bump Fest, and this is a Bump Fest that John is winning here. But again, he just has to make a move to press his advantage. Judge Ian Hemp reversing that bump right there as we mark the B-Wing in order to take the template back out. That's right, Dion. It is just me for a moment. Dion does have to step out. I will be carrying the stream for just a couple minutes. If I can find where Ken went again, we can get him back. But until then, we have a 2 straight and bump. Oh, thank you, Fell's Wrath. I really appreciate that. 2 straight forward and bump from Tendum right into the back here. But we've got a great shot on the green, retaining that stress, it looks like. So we must have just done a white maneuver there. That is a 1 turn coming in from that B-Wing. retaining the stress. That's an interesting maneuver right there. Ideally, he would want Quick Draw to bump into Cassian so that Quick Draw does not have a shot onto Cassian. And we can keep that Ewing around for one more turn. This is the bump fest right here. Quick Draw doing a slow straight maneuver, going to bump right into Braylon. Judge Ian Hemp there, making sure that they do everything right, making sure that they bump correctly. This is going to be a tough maneuver. Seeing that there is actually a bank in there, we're going to mark Braylon Strom, use that precision to make the right call for where Quick Draw will hit. Because if he hits, it will determine who he bumps, who he does and does not have a shot on. Yes, indeed, that focus is in fact Cassian doing a zero stop, and with Leia White, he was able to keep his actions going, putting Braylon back in there. Train tracking that back out, and the bonk is pretty clearly right there onto Braylon Strom. Putting the stress back where they're supposed to be. Wedge now opening his S-foils. I think we're going to see a 2-turn in. There it is. An aggressive maneuver holding that debris field down. Is he going to clear that? Yes, he will, like a glove. Fits right into that little crevice in the debris cloud. Able to take his action. Take a target lock on number pink right there. John really wanting to take those silencers down. There he is. This is the Wedge Antilles play that we've all been waiting for the entire game. Quick Draw firing first here. Nasty shot to Cassian. 2 hits, 2 crits, 2 evades there, but Cassian's not going to be able to do it. Take a hit and 2 crits, and Cassian Andor goes down. Taking that structural damage is one of those crits. It does not really matter. F's in chat, the first ship to go down today for John here. Pay our respects to Cassian Andor. This is the first time out of 3 games that John has had on stream, I believe, the Cassian has actually gone down. A great choice from Mitchell to be firing really hard into that ship, that Leia carrier. Here's Wedge, can spend that target lock for 4 hits. With 2 natural evades, he only takes 2. Number pink at 1 hull left. We see the blessing return. Two hits plus Fanatical for 3 against Braylon Strom from pink. Take 2. Another range 1 thought at Braylon with Fanatical hit and 3 crits. Youch! Braylon Strom is down this round. He's able to re-roll his die, gets nothing. 1, 2, 3 crits and a hit. Coming in hard against that hull. Braylon Strom down from almost full health in 1 round. Wow, what a swing there. Braylon remains on the table until the end of this round, and he's going to fire back into green. Braylon will be able to re-roll those 2 focuses into 3 hits. 2 evades, green just takes 1. Both those first order test pilots right back down to 1 here. Welcome back, Dion.
Hey guys, all right, let's get back into it. So looks like we got a trying to reach for a range 2 shot here.
From 10 to green, yes. Measuring arc, we've got
looks
that
like it's
range
in.
2. Did they call that obstructed? Let's see how many shots he rolls. Spend that stress for 2 hits.
Out the box. And
Two of
got
eight.
it. There you go.
Unable to put a ship in the ground there, John is. Mitchell swinging this game hard back into his favor, killing both Cassian and Braylon in the same round.
Ooh, that's a big swing.
That's a heck of a swing. Wedge there, even with that beautiful range 1 engagement, really not able to bring his power to bear either. An excellent evade roll from Number Pink there, returning that blessing back to the board.
I think I got to make a T-shirt, Number Pink.
Yes, I am that Dave. Natty's is in fact a valid tactic, and we do see some dice variance this round, keeping everything even as Mitchell Hurst edges out a 96-64 slight lead with just under 20 minutes left in the match.
Yeah.
Now, since this is swung back into Mitchell's favor, Dion, where's John go from here?
So without the Cassian tool, like Cassian is a huge piece in this list.
Absolutely.
Being able to move the stress, and then that's on top of carrying Clea, which obviously is a huge piece in the list. You got to try to conserve health where you can. 10 hasn't taken any damage, but
neither has Wedge.
Right, neither has Wedge, so they're both clean. But one of the things I've been talking about since the beginning of the game that's going to come back to bite John is Quick Draw is untouched. And now he has half of his ships, and Quick Draw is now saying, I have the high ground. Please shoot at me.
Please shoot at me. Quick Draw is also worth 70 points. So even in a win on time, if John's able to keep 10 num, at least half of either 10 num or Wedge, and one of those other ships at full health versus a full health Quick Draw, because it's very, very possible that both of those first order test pilots go down.
Oh yeah, they can go one hull each, absolutely. But you got to remember, Quick Draw can really move.
Absolutely.
Right? They've made it significantly more maneuverable with the 5 straight being white.
So she can really chase Wedge, even with Wedge's boost. And those silencers have proven themselves very, very adept at staying aggressive, keeping the pressure on. I doubt that we're going to see Mitchell disengage with them and run away.
Keep the pressure on.
There it is. There's a 2 hard turn. He does have to turn out just to keep his arc for this round. See perhaps something like a target lock and a boost.
Probably just trying to get out of that gas cloud there, because he could have K-turned to keep the arc on, but try to change the battlefield here.
So with this, now that Cassian is dead, and one of those 2 B-Wings is down, who do you think this dense asteroid arrangement right here favors? Is it still more in favor of the Rebels, or is it swung back to Mitchell right there?
I think it's Mitchell's game right now when it comes to the land, to the terrain, as some would say.
I would agree with you. X-Wings especially really aren't that great at negotiating asteroid fields.
Yeah, like you're forced to close the wings a lot of times because you want to boost through there, being able to change your angle by 45, and if Wedge's wings are closed, he's not doing as much damage, and that's I brought Wedge to be a hammer.
2 bank and a focus from Number Green right there.
Now, another thing that has hurt John and maybe might end up hurting him is the fact that Wedge in the early game
turned out.
So yeah, he turned out. He didn't engage, which I know he was afraid, but yeah.
Sometimes you got to remain aggressive. 10 num taking a 2 hard turn to pilot left, skirting the block attempt by Green, although that does put Green in a really good position there to take a shot into his rear. Let's double check that arc here. Yeah, from the table, he's definitely got that in arc.
All right, we should be heading into the engagement here pretty soon after Quick Draw does her thing.
A 3 turn from Quick Draw, likely to see a rotate rear. I would not be surprised if this was an attempt to preempt a K turn from Wedge.
Yep.
There's that focus. Link white rotate.
So good.
Quick Draw. So good. In this case, I would really like to see.
That's a 4K.
That is a 4K.
Mitchell, oh my goodness.
Mitchell called that something fierce right there. That was some excellent maneuvering. I would have liked to see, in that case, Wedge just bump right into Green.
Andrew Knuckles in the final, confirmed big acrylic, going for the big win.
Remember guys, sponsoring Gold Squadron podcast does make you better at X-Wing. Isn't that right, Ken? Sponsoring Gold Squadron makes you better at X-Wing.
He said yes.
He said yes. 4K turn from Wedge there.
Yep. And
looking to put the kill in on Green. He has to do that.
Now, you know, a couple people, I'm never a fan of saying, like, you know, this move, but let's go ahead and roll into it. Mitchell putting in the pain.
Look at that. Hit two crits from Quick Draw's rear arc.
That's all sticking.
Blanks. One crit going into Wedge's hull. Wedge now down to half. That win condition
That's a
for
double
John,
damage.
That's another direct hit. Wow.
Half points on Wedge.
That win condition for John is looking ever more lofty at this point.
Here's Wedge at range.
2. That's all he needs.
2 dice. He's got it.
1 blank. He's got the kill.
That's on number green.
The one thing that Quick Draw's positioning does give Wedge here is an opportunity to take out silencers one by one and then come back in for a mano fight on Quick Draw. Quick question.
Yep.
If we turn on that dial is red.
Let's take a look here. Going to the first order.
No, that is
that's
white.
It's the 1 turns.
I think it was red.
It was in first edition.
Yep.
John's got to press here. He's got to get rid of the pink silencer and then give himself a shot here, and try to bring Wedge and Braylon in on Quick Draw.
Absolutely.
At the same time.
And the silencer, as predicted by chat, just hits the Jets
I'm
goodbye.
out.
He knows of John's win condition right here, and he is not going to let it go without a fight. Focus, link to boost. Triton 7-3-0-5. The other top 4 game has just finished up. Andrew Knuckles coming out victorious over Chris Farley?
Alex Farley.
Alex Farley, excuse me, to go to the finals of the Denver System Open right here.
John doing the right thing here.
3 sloop.
3 sloop, getting aggressive.
Pattern Analyzer will still allow him to rotate his arc back forward. Use those linked actions. Beautiful.
Pressing your advantage. If you can just get rid of Wedge, that kind of locks up the game.
And he's going to use Afterburnies. He's coming right back in. Not nearly as much time for Wedge to regain the advantage as we initially thought.
Yep. So there's an Afterburners.
Pattern Analyzer does in fact trigger before Afterburners.
Yep. There's a stress, and he should be getting an additional action.
Wedge closing those S-foils. 2 bank down towards the bottom of the board, likely to see a focus boost. $874 people watching, rapidly approaching that 1,000 viewer mark.
Come on, 1,000.
Let's do it.
Call your grandma. Call your grandpa.
I thought you said you didn't want to artificially inflate the stream.
Well, there's still other people watching. You make sure that they're watching. Watch, grandma. Here we go. Fire control system. One hit out there. Should be plenty. Got it. Range 3 Wedge. Does he have the range?
All he's got to do is hit 1, but it is obstructed beyond that gas cloud.
So that's, I mean, it's almost impossible. He has to stick all 3 of these. Oh,
and then Mitchell's got to roll all blanks. Is that obstructed?
That looked like it might have been unobstructed. He wants that.
Out of range.
Out of range. Whoo, man. I'm sure John doesn't like that. John, you got to get those dials down. Here we go. We got only 10 minutes left to go. Oh, MG Rockwell, I'm sorry. Dang it.
Oh, no.
Trying to have some fun.
Quick Draw here, though, has a really good opportunity to cut Wedge's turn as he comes this way to chase that silencer. Number pink there staying right on the board. That blessing is back.
The blessing. Gold Squadron podcast. Why are there fades?
Why? What fades? I don't wear a fade.
Yeah, I don't know.
part my hair.
I wear a fade.
You do. It looks amazing.
Thank you.
So, Dion, why are there fades?
I don't know what they're talking about. I mean, the only thing I would guess they're talking about is like on the sidebars.
Yeah, maybe.
That's because it's pretty. It's more visually pleasing than a hard stop of the line. But anyway, here we go. Turning here, boosting, just trying to get as much space as possible, keeping the focus. Wedge is going to be able to do a 3 forward.
Focus boost.
Yep.
Although with if you think he should open those S foils,
Open
just
them up.
keep open those
them
S
up,
foils,
3
just keep
forward
the 3
focus.
forward.
Because he's going to get to shoot. I like it. He's trying to get the B-wing into the inside. Threaten quick draw possibly in a couple turns.
Whoa, quick draw also hitting the Jets there, going over that rock.
That is really aggressive.
I love this maneuver. Is he going to drop a shield and get a shot in the activation?
Oh!
There it is. Quick draw drops the
sure
shield
did.
immediately with a target lock on Wedge,
that is
range 1 shot.
That is a risky play. Only a 50% chance of getting that happen.
Yep.
It might be able to kill.
Here it comes. He's going to spend
whiff.
the target
He's got a
lock.
lock.
He's got to. There it is in a hit crit.
Untoken Wedge.
Unbelievable.
It still takes a crit. Could happen if it's a double.
Direct hit, throwing that on the table.
Oh,
Holy
man.
cow. Wow, if there ever was an end to this game, that is it. An unbelievable 5 straight across the rock.
Mitchell
Tossing quick draw's shield and shot the activation.
Mitchell
I cannot believe that.
He just put a nail in the coffin.
Absolutely.
Put a nail in the coffin.
With an absolutely
Woo!
spectacular and risky move. That's why we watch this game, Dion.
Man, you know.
That's why we do this. Chat's going absolutely wild with 897 viewers.
Man.
Wow.
I think we just got the handshake there. Man, like.
Oh, Jesus Christ. What a nail in the coffin. Fantastic play by Mitchell right there. We have seen John dominate on stream for 2 days. And for Mitchell to win so decisively like that with such an incredible final maneuver.
Now, check this out. Our final is going to be quick draw double phantom.
Yeah.
Not
silencer.
a
Quick draw double silencer.
Sorry, not phantom. Excuse me. Silencer. Not a medalist. Versus
Bunker Buster.
Phantom Buster, Bunker Buster, whatever the thing is called. Anyway, a gunboat.
Yeah.
Lamb the Shuttle and Vader. Well, maybe now it's going to be a medalist.
Yeah, absolutely loving this final. I'm really, really looking forward to it. Now, I know that they're going to want to reset and get that going as quickly as possible. So
we're going to do
Dion,
like rapid giveaways,
let's move away into some giveaways.
So giveaways are sponsored by District Foundry. Use that coupon code Denver19 to get your 15% off of your order. No minimums there. You can get dividers, trays, all kinds of things. We're actually going to be giving this one away at the end of the final.
Stick around. All right, so we definitely have some more giveaways here. Let's get Nightbot up. Let's make sure that he's hanging on tight.
Yeah. Nightbot, you good? I'm good, Dion.
Oh, he's good. Fantastic. Dion, what do you have to do to be eligible for these giveaways?
All you got to do is be in our Twitch chat. If you're watching on YouTube, come to Twitch chat.
Yeah, come to Twitch chat anyways. We got
I understand. There's some people who can't watch on Twitch because it's blocked at work. But you know what? That's why I stream to 2 places to make sure so many people can do it. All right, we got some Minoc swags being handed over. Boom, boom, boom.
This sticker right here.
There you go. We're gonna give a couple of those away. All righty. So here we go. We got to run through these. If you win, we're going to say this one time just so that we can get through it here. If you win, exclamation point win in the chat, no spaces. A link will pop up. Fill out the form that is linked there. Make sure you fill it out completely in order to receive your prizes.
Now, what's the tradition, Dion?
Finch is first.
And who gets that in 3, 2, 1?
Boom.
Wampa Pattern Baldness. I've seen you active in the chat today. Congratulations. Yeah. Exclamation point win. Let's move right on to our next giveaway. These Proton Torpedoes, we're going to see them coming back next round. Now let's see them in your home. 3, 2, 1.
I jumped the button.
Aurelius 47. Congratulations. Once again, exclamation point win. We are running right through this. Now this card from East Coast Gamers, this amazing Lando alternate art card. I like that one
What
a
have
lot.
we here?
That was incredible.
Thank you.
Okay, 3, 2, 1. Lando's going home with PEC 61480.
There we go.
61480 exclamation point win. What is next? That ubiquitous Dion Moralo.
3, 2, 1. Bam.
Catherine Nixira.
Nixira. Yes, I know. I know
Catherine
that
Nixira.
one.
Congratulations. Now we have a shirtless Boba Fett from behind.
Gold Squad.
Full art card. Oh,
Boba Swolo.
Boba Swolo.
Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Bam.
Scothalamos.
Very, very good thumbnail there. I'm a fan.
And then it's Christmas in April. Kylo Ren.
Christmas Kylo, baby.
From Onyx Squadron pilot, catch Dion there in Australia for the Australian System Open. Go ahead.
3,
2, 1.
Bam.
Reflex 18.
There it is.
Congratulations. Once again, exclamation point win. Go ahead and claim your prize. Now we got
some Minox stickers. What do you do with them? You do whatever you want with them.
You can put them on your shirt.
You can put them on your shirt. You can put them on your squad box. You can cut them out and make them as little markers. You can put them on your forehead. You just whatever you want. Whatever
on
feels
your forehead,
good.
you say.
Don't do it, Asa. All right, we got 3 copies. Thank you, Andrew Seeley. We're going to go ahead and give this away. Let's make it happen. 3, 2, 1. Bam. Daryl TMCD.
CD.
For the second copy, 3, 2, 1. Lynn Varian. And for the third copy of the Minox stickers.
3, 2, 1. Adeldrow.
Now, before we do our plastic Poe for the round, and you got the sticker on your forehead.
Yes,
Fantastic.
I did. Fantastic. I don't know what you expected.
I don't know. I shouldn't have said it. I shouldn't have said it. Before we say that, I want to say thank you so much to everybody who has subbed, who has donated. It makes a really big difference. And one of the upcoming things we're going to start talking about and trying to raise funds for is trying to cover the cost for Australia and for Poland. Like, we've paid things forward. We've paid for it, and it's one of those things where it's like, I've always been a fan of, you know what, I'm going to put as much in as I can and just hope that it comes back. You know, it's just, it's that cyclical helping, and thank you to everybody who has been a part of that. Some of our huge patrons and people who just, we got to talk about Isofane, right? Definitely number 1 supporter out there. Thank you so much, man. He's amazing. Everybody else is gifted subs. Here we go. 3, 2, 1.
Poe goes to Unga Jinga.
Unga Jinga. All righty.
Congratulations.
Awesome. So let's go.
Is that everything for this round?
That's everything for this round. We got the District Foundry.
No. We got these.
Oh, we do.
We got these. Are they resetting? Are they reset already?
Maybe, you know what? Since it's let's save those for the final.
Okay.
Yeah, we got cards. We'll do that.
All right.
Yeah,
Let's save these for the final. Okay.
Yeah.
We got some exciting stuff for the final, but let's make sure all those players are ready to go.
Yep.
And we'll be back here in just
hold on, we got to do our patron exclusives.
That's right.
We can't forget about that. So we're done with that. Patron exclusives. Let's go ahead and pull out. Thank you so much for playing, man. You rocked it this week.
Absolutely did.
All right, pulling up those patrons.
If you gotta go to a 5 straight through a rocket plasma quick draw.
I mean, he's gonna say, like, I lost that game, but respect to Mitch, right?
Absolutely,
huge
mad respect.
All right, so we're gonna start by doing
just under the other one. Okay.
So we're gonna start by doing.
People just give me stickers. I don't know what's happening.
Why does this keep crashing? We're going to start by doing a couple of Poes. I want to do a couple of Poes for new patrons because that's an older patron prize and but in a smaller pool. Let's take a look at the number of patrons we got this weekend. From the top 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21.
That's a lot.
22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 27. 27. Are we counting from the top or the bottom?
Let's count from the top.
From the top. Here we go. Random number generator for the first Poe random number generator.
Between 1 and 27.
1 and 27. Here we go. Generate.
14.
14. Here we go. Don't crash on me, app. 1. It's
Nope.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Bobby Sapphire.
Bobby, that's one of the best names I've heard in a long time.
That is good. So I'm going to go ahead and shoot him a message right now. You won a stream prize.
Yay.
Frosted Poe. It's also there for me, so when I go back in, I can send it to him.
All right, we got another Frosted Poe.
Here we go. Let's hit that button again. Boom. Number 9. 9 for the top. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Somebody who became a patron an hour ago. 1 hour ago at the squad leader level, Matthew Legat.
Congratulations, Matthew.
You win a stream prize. That's my typing voice. That's like what
watching Dion text patrons is obviously the most entertaining. That's why you've patronized right now.
That's right. Frosted Poe. Listen, I'm a real person. All right? I'm not going to pretend. All righty. So it looks like they're starting to get set up.
Hey, we should have Andrew Knuckles' list just about ready to go.
Yeah.
We're going to take a really quick break to get those put in, though. We'll be right back, shall we?
5-ish minutes.
5-ish minutes, yep.